Good morning. It's Kathy Limata. I'm going to read you the second chapter of Hank Zipzer's I Got a D in Salami. We discovered in the first chapter that Hank isn't very good at school. Although this time he's practiced his spelling words and he thinks he's going to win the spelling contest. All of the words he's practiced with Mom, he got right. Oh, except for rhythm. And he finally got it right when he used toothpaste on the mirror to practice it. Do you think your mom would like you to use toothpaste on the bathroom mirror to practice your spelling words? I don't think so. Here we go, chapter 2. I must have slept through my alarm because the next morning I woke up 10 minutes later than usual. The last thing I wanted was to be late for school, or tardy. Miss Adolph calls it tardy. Miss Adolph told us that tardy pupils don't get to participate in the spelling contest. If you're even 30 seconds late to class, she writes a big red T next to your name in her roll book. Once she sent Ryan Shimazzato to the Principal Love's office for having 2 T's in a row, even though he had a sprained ankle and was using crutches. I don't know if Miss Adolph is the meanest 4th grade teacher that ever lived. But she's in the top 3. For sure. I threw on some clothes and grabbed a waffle from the toaster and flew out the door and into the elevator. Oh, elevator. That's giving us a clue as to where he lives. I'm thinking he lives in an apartment. I wish I had time to soak the waffle in syrup, but I knew Ashley and Frankie were already waiting for me in the front of our building. Frankie lives on the 6th floor, and Ashley lives on the 4th. It's so great to have your best friends live in the same building. We don't have to schedule play dates like a lot of other kids in our class. Whenever we want to get together, we just pick up the phone and say, meet in the basement. That's where our clubhouse is, which is also the world headquarters for Magic 3, our magic act. Frankie is an amazing magician. Ashley and I are his assistants. Magic 3 has performed in 2 public places. The first time at my grandpa's bowling league party, we were a smash hit. The second time was at Tyler King's 4th birthday party. His family lives across the hall from me. His mom heard how good we were at the bowling party, and she offered us $15 to do a magic show for Tyler's party. For our opening act, Frankie had a special magic word, which is zingawee, and he made a quarter appear out of Tyler's ear. The problem was, Tyler said he wanted 1,000,000 quarters. When Frankie tried to explain that he didn't have 1,000,000 quarters, Tyler went bonkers and said he hated Zingawee Man and wanted him to go back to his magic castle and never come back. He's still saying that to everyone he sees, so we're waiting until he calms down before we hand out our business cards in the building. Frankie and Ashley were outside, hopping up and down to keep their feet warm. I shivered when I hit the cold air. It's the first week in November. I could feel the New York winter just around the corner. Unlike myself, Frankie and Ashley were dressed for the weather. Ashley was wearing a purple parka with a matching purple hat she had decorated with rhinestones. She glues rhinestones onto all her clothes, even her tennis shoes, and the frames of her glasses. That's Ashley for you. Frankie had on his Yankees jacket. Did you have to wear that? I asked him, like the loyal Mets fan that I am. Yes, I did, Zip, he said, because I dress like a winner. Fine. Then I'll let you borrow my Mets sweatshirt. The Mets? Those losers? Our day will come, I shot back. Mets fans are patient. You two have got to stop this right now, or we'll never get to school, said Ashley, who isn't a baseball fan at all. Believe it or not, she watches professional ping pong. I don't know how much you know about baseball, so let me just tell you this right now. If you live in New York and like baseball, You're either a Mets fan or a Yankees fan. You can be both. Mets fans like the underdog, the team that comes from behind. Yankee fans go for the easy win. But that's just my opinion. It says a lot about my friendship with Frankie that we can be such good friends even though we're on different sides of the fence, baseball wise. Hank, you're going to be cold, said Frankie's father, Dr. Townsend, who was walking us to school. Dr. Townsend isn't the kind of doctor you go to when you have a sore throat. He's a doctor of African American Studies, which is what he teaches at the Columbia University. Where's your jacket? Oops, I'll be right back. My father always says, what you don't have in your mind, you have in your feet, meaning I have to go all the way back upstairs to get my jacket. There was no time to wait for the elevator, so I ran up the 10 flights to our apartment. I dashed inside and grabbed my jacket, but it wasn't in the closet where I left it, or at least where I thought I had left it. Mom, have you seen my green jacket? I hollered. I was breathing hard from running up the stairs. Dad came out of the bedroom in his t-shirt and boxer shorts, which is really not something you want to see first thing in the morning. Actually, it's not something you want to see any time of the day. Your mother's already left, he said. She had to take Emily to the dental appointment. Now, ordinarily, I wouldn't have asked something like, why, were her fangs bothering her? But Frankie's always telling me about good karma. He got that from his mom, who believes in karma. Basically, karma means that if you put out something good, you get something good back. If you put out something rotten, it comes back and bites you in the behind. Since I really, really wanted to win this spelling contest, I figured this was the day wasn't the day to take any chances with my karma. So I decided to hold off on the fangs remark. Instead, I said to my dad, poor Emily, I sure hope the dentist doesn't do anything that is going to hurt her. Boy, if that didn't guarantee some excellent karma, I don't know what would. My dad was looking around for my jacket, grumbling about how I never put anything where it belongs. There it is, I said, pointing to our dachshund Cheerio. Cheerio was lying on the couch, looking so cute and all curled up on my jacket. I gently pulled it out from under him. Don't go nuts on me, boy, I whispered. I'm in a hurry. Cheerio went nuts anyways. He jumped off the couch and started spinning around in circles. When he does that, which is pretty often, he looks like a big furry Cheerio, which is how he got his name. Our vet says his spinning thing is a reaction to stress. I don't know what he's got to be so stressed about. I mean, all he has to do is eat and pee. No one asked him to spell receive or rhythm. I put my jacket on and ran downstairs. Frankie was looking at his watch. We thought maybe you went upstairs and went back to bed, didn't we, Ashwina? He said. Frankie has nicknames for everyone. He calls his dad Double T because his name is Thomas Townsend. We better get a move on. We don't want to be tardy, do we? Ashley asked, doing a pretty good imitation of Mrs. Adolf. It's 2 blocks from our building to school. We had to walk really fast to get there on time. Luckily, we arrived just before the bell rang. We said goodbye to Mr. Townsend, raced upstairs, and slid into our seats just as Mrs. Adolf was closing our classroom door. Miss Adolf was wearing a gray skirt and blouse, just like she had worn the day before, and the day before that, and every day since school started. I guess she figures gray looks good on her because it matches her gray face. You should see her hairdo. It looks like she has a stack of gray donuts piled up on top of her head. I'm sorry if this grosses you out, but I have to tell you it like I see it. The other teachers on our floor still had their Halloween decorations up, but not our class. In fact, Miss Adolf had never put up any in the first place. She thinks Halloween is a silly holiday, because all you do is dress up and eat candy and have fun. I bet her favorite holiday to celebrate is the Day of the Dead. Instead of ghosts and goblins and pumpkins, our walls of our class are decorated with artwork from our state's project. We each picked a state and outlined it in the color of the product that was most famous for. For example, Florida is orange because of its orange groves, and Vermont is brown because of its maple syrup. I picked Rhode Island because I like the shape of it. I outlined it in red for the red hens, which is the state bird. Rhode Island is the smallest state, and its motto is hope. If people had mottos, I think I'd pick hope for mine. I sure do hope a lot. In fact, I was hoping that I would win the spelling contest that morning. Now, pupils, today is our spelling contest, Miss Adolph said, and we're all going to have great fun. I know I am. Call me crazy, but I don't know how anyone can think spelling is even slightly fun. Riding bikes is fun. Roller coasters are fun. Running in the park is fun. Baseball games are fun, but spelling is definitely not fun. Unless you're a type of person who enjoys getting shot at the doctor, then you probably think spelling is a barrel of laughs. Here are the rules, Miss Adolph said. Pupils will be asked to spell 15 words, the ones I assign to each of you at the beginning of the week. Those pupils who get all the words on their list correct may participate in the final round, which covers all the words on the lists. As soon as you miss a word in a round, you must sit down. The last pupil standing will be the winner and will receive an A on his or her report card. Are there any questions? Luke Whitman put his hand up. Can I go to the nurse's office and lie down? He asked. I feel sick. Luke Whitman asked if he could go to the nurse's office every single day. And Mrs. Adolph's answer was always the same. Absolutely not, said Mrs. Adolph. Now, who wants to go first in today's spelling contest? Nick McKelter put his thick arm in the air and waved it around like he had a gigantic bathroom emergency. I'll go first, he grunted. I am totally 200% prepared. He always says things like that. He claims his parents are best friends with the mayor of New York, or he tells you he's got the highest math score ever recorded in the Western Hemisphere. We call it the McKelter factor. Truth times 100. Even though Nick the Tick was acting like a total jerk, secretly I was glad he put his hand up. At least it meant that Mrs. Adolph wasn't going to call on me. Usually she calls on me first. I think it makes her happy when I don't have the answer right away, no matter what the subject is. As McKelter got up to go to the front of the classroom, he walked close enough to me that I got a mega whiff of his bad breath. He must have eaten an entire raw onion for breakfast. Ooh. Because his breath smelled like a rhinoceros with tooth decay. Not that I know what a rhinoceros with tooth decay smells like, but I'll bet it's pretty foul. Hey, girls, McKelter said to Frankie and me as he walked by, ready to see his spelling master at work. Sure, Nick, Frankie whispered. Who you got in mind? I laughed, and Mrs. Adolph shot me a wicked look. Since you seem to find this so funny, Henry, you'll go next, she said. I wish she'd call me Hank. No one calls me Henry except my mom when she's really mad. And Paula, the woman who makes appointments at my dentist office. No one but Mrs. Adolph, that is. I've told her 1,000,000 times that all my friends call me Hank. She says she sees no need for that because my real name is Henry. Besides, she's not my friend. My heart started to beat faster. I looked over at Frankie, who gave me his famous smile we call the big dimples. He says a lot with his smile. This time it said, "You can do it, Zip. Just breathe." Frankie must tell me to breathe 4 times a day. As a matter of fact, he tells everyone to breathe if he thinks they're getting too tense about things. Miss Adolph gave Nick 15 words to spell. As usual, he was all talk and no walk. Out of 15 words, he spelled 7 right and missed 8. No A for him, that millipede. All during his turn, I tried to review my words. My brain was swimming in letters. They were all over the place, but not making themselves into any words I knew. Breathe, I said to myself. You can do this, Hank. Piece of cake. I tried really hard to talk myself into believing my own words. But in my brain, right underneath those words, were the other words, familiar words. No way, Hank. That's chapter 2. I wonder if he's going to get it. Tune in to chapter 3 to find out.